guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. I wanted to talk a little bit. I almost named this thumbnail the Grifty Awards, but I can't really give out an award yet because here we are only in April of 2024. So the year's just getting started, but these are two very big contenders for the Grifter Awards of the year. I wanted to talk about this primarily because I'm offended that it's centering around religion a little bit. It is the kind of the con that, oh, I'm traditional, or I'm doing the right thing, or I found the Lord, or all these other reasons. And I think people are getting taken advantage of. I'm specifically speaking of Nala Fitness, the redhead that is in this video that Michael Knowles and a bunch of conservatives have come out to support and cheer on and interview because she's suddenly found the Lord. She went from OnlyFools to finding Jesus. Unfortunately, I think it's a grift. Now, maybe it's not. But when you directly lie back to back to back to back, and you are pulling the wool over people's eyes on how you make money and everything that's going on, I kind of want to call you out for that, and I want to talk about it. And then many of you that you notice I haven't done a video here in a couple days on YouTube or Rumble, but over on Locals, I did the video on Fresh and Fit, and this is Walter Weeks, who is Fresh CEO, apparently has gotten this gal pregnant, and his first response was not that, well, I'll man up and I'll do the right thing, or let's do a paternity test to make sure that you're not scamming me, or none of the things you'd think the red pill community would, like that response would be. His first is just, well, get rid of it. Now, I did a full video on this over on Locals for supporters, so if you're a supporter, you'll kind of already know this information. But for the rest of you here on YouTube and Rumble, I'm going to do a little discussion at the end of this Nala Fitness about Mr. Walter Weeks and his griftiness. So first, the Whatever podcast that has 4.35 million subscribers, and this has 800,000 views. This is a dating podcast. This was streamed on November 30th, 2023, okay? So this was the redhead that you see here in the bottom corner, right over here. This is Nala Fitness, and she is an OnlyFools content creator and also makes the saucy movies for adults type thing. And needless to say, she has a lot of very spicy takes on things. And then miraculously, seemingly overnight, she claims that now she's a conservative, good Christian woman, and she's moved on from her past, and she's now married and has found the Lord. And that's why I want to talk about this, because if it was just an OnlyFools girl that said, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm moving on with my life, it was a bad mistake and I'm moving on, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, I don't even think I'd be doing a video other than maybe a quick mention of, hey, you know what? This is another woman that, sees the light after making lots of mistakes. But amazingly, after making $9 million and getting her public tours and the articles written about her in the newspapers, now all of a sudden, it's just, well, forgive my sins, and I'm a found once again woman. And this kind of reminded me of the meme that a lot of times, red pill content creators or the manosphere posts, where it shows a picture of a girl on OnlyFools, and then it says, 30 bodies later, when she wants to settle down, and it shows her in a conservative sundress with a Bible in her hand, and wanting to be a traditional homemaker. And they're kind of like, no, the only thing that's changed is nothing, really. That's kind of the goof on it. So Michael Knowles, ironically, will not interview red pill content creators or manosphere content creators that have been in the scene for a while. He will, however, interview a Pearl from Just Pearly Things, a woman, on the men's issues. And then this Nala Ray, and Nala is not her real name, he interviews her. And it's like from $9 million on OnlyFools, and then God saved me. And he says in an incredibly moving and powerful episode, Michael Knowles sits down with Nala Ray, who left behind a lucrative $9 million career in the, the oldest profession in the world on camera, after a life-changing encounter with faith. Now, I'd like to believe this. I'd like to say I believe her. But let's be honest. If we're going to really kind of talk about this stuff, the Lord forgives, but I don't think men should quite as easily. Now, she hasn't directly wronged us, but are we just supposed to look past her and now accept that she's moved on and everything is good? Because I don't. The damage of what's been done and the mistakes of what's been made, those are permanent. You can't just, wish or pray the mental illness and damage away. But this is a 2-hour and 20-minute podcast by Michael Knowles. I listened to it so you don't have to. But I did put together a 5-minute quick supercut. Now, this is not even all the double speak and all the things that I caught that she was lying about. These are just some of the most egregious ones, some of the ones that are most noticeable. And this is why I say don't listen to what they say. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. And that holds true for Mr. Walter Weeks over at Fresh and Fit, Fresh CEO. That holds the same for him. Watch what they do, not what they say. But I'll get into that at the end of this. Now, there's a lot of cracking and popping in this audio. I think the capture software I used recorded it at 30 frames per second, and then in my video editing software, plays it back at 24 frames per second. So there's some audio pops in there. That's the only thing I can figure of why the audio sounds a little scratchy. So I apologize for that. That wasn't my intention. But you get the gist of what she's saying. So here's Nala, the gal on the right, in the red Spider-Man outfit and the bright red hair on the Whatever podcast. And this is from just 4 months ago at the very end of November. Again, this is from November. What was the date on this? I thought I had it. It's like November something or other. Gosh darn it. Why is it not showing? It's like November 30th, I think. Yeah, here it is. Streamed live November 30th. Okay. So here's some of her takes from that.
Because I don't want to be here.
He said I don't want to be here.
No, that's not what I meant.
I'm only 2 hours in, Brian.
Okay, so Nala, in your previous appearance on the show, you claimed that you had a thing for cheating.
Yeah, I knew that was going to get brought up. Cheating, it's actually my biggest fantasy. It's not that fucking difficult. You're with someone or they're with someone. I don't even have to be with someone, but if you're with someone and you have a girl, I'm going to sit on your fucking dick and be like, isn't my tighter? Isn't it better?
Now, I have broken this up and so I can highlight some certain things. But this is what she said on her visit the previous time on the podcast. And there's the point that I want you to hear out of this that is memorable is her saying about being single and then being with a dude. And so I'm going to play it again, and then I'm going to call it out, and then you'll see why I'm talking about it.
It's actually my biggest fantasy. It's not that fucking difficult. You're with someone or they're with someone. I don't even have to be with someone, but if you're with someone and you have a girl, I'm going to sit on your fucking dick and be like, isn't my tighter?
I don't have to be with somebody, she says, or even if I'm single. But if you're with somebody and you have a girl and then I jump on you and you're going to have to compare me to her and you're going to find that I'm better. The key phrase out of this is, even if I'm single, but he's not. Remember that.
Isn't it better? Isn't that just hot? Yeah. I'm a competition in myself. Like, I just have to...
For those who didn't previously see that, are you, is that still the case?
So, it's, like I said, it was a fantasy. It is a fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, it's the compromise that you make in that sexual act is hot to me. So... Yes, ma'am.
Wait, sorry. You said help people cheating?
Okay, so like if they have a partner,
Yes.
like and I'm single.
This is the important thing to remember. She's repeating it again. She's saying it again. If they have a partner and I am single, she's saying it again. And notice she doesn't say if he had, or if this guy, singular, had a girlfriend. He's saying they, as in general. They, men in general, have girlfriends in general, and I'm single, generally speaking. That implies multiple times. That implies multiple times, multiple instances. That is important to remember because of what comes right after this.
Cheating?
Okay, so like if they have a partner.
Yes.
Like and I'm single, like, and we have sex.
So you're the homewrecker.
No, I'm not. So for me, if you made that decision and you're in the relationship, I don't push anyone to do anything. But if you want to have sex with me and you keep pushing, that's on you. You wanted out of that relationship before, you know? And how do I know that they haven't done it with other people?
Wait, I thought you said you like to cheat
also,
on your partners.
I did. I really did because they hurt.
So now she's saying she cheated on partners, multiple partners she's cheated on as well.
Me, you know? And I was like, you know what? F this. This is hot. I'm going to cheat on you.
That's good.
I feel like that's different.
That's different. So like I said, when I cheat, it's because you've gone so fucking far with me. You've pushed every button.
Why don't you just break up with them?
Yeah.
Like, because I need the satisfaction that I fucking won.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be an ass.
So when I cheat, that's the end. Like,
no,
we're
yeah,
done
just going
after
out
that.
Why don't you just cheat? Why don't you just end it?
Yeah.
Oh, because like I said, it's a fantasy. It wouldn't be cheating if we broke up. It would just be a hookup.
Okay. The reason why I'm even talking about Nala, the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because this seems to be the hot new thing for a lot of these OnlyFools content creators or girls on TikTok all of a sudden saying, "Oh, I'm very conservative now. I had this horrible past, but I'm found, I'm saved, I changed my mind, and now I'm traditional." And look, you can't change a leopard's spots. Like you can paint a leopard like a zebra, but it still really has spots, and the stripes are fake. That's kind of what I feel is going on with a lot of this stuff, is that these content creators are finding new ways to claim to be different, to claim to now have seen the light, and I think it's just another way to manipulate. The reason why I'm saying that, and I'm proving, I'm going to be showing proof here, but the reason why I want to talk about this is because I want you guys out there that come across women like this. I want you guys that are out there that come across content creators like this, who are telling you one thing, who are explaining things, or saying I'm really this and I do this and you need to do this, that when you see who they really are, you are able to identify it and protect yourself so that you don't get yourself in trouble. This girl, I think, is going to be trouble. But here's the interview. So you guys get the gist where she was saying all this about other men cheating on her boyfriend. And if when she's single and a guy has a girl, she likes to jump on them and make comparisons and aren't I this and that compared to your girlfriend. She gets a kick out of that. She calls it her fantasy. But she says she does it. Now, this is from November. The original cut where she was in the blue dress, 6 months before that, Michael Knowles interviewed her, how many days ago? April 6th. That is 2 days ago. 2 days ago, Michael Knowles interviewed her. What's her answer now that she's found Jesus?
So what's the progression?
So after that significant thing happened with my parents, I started, and it was only with my partner. And I do want to clarify.
So she said she started the saucy stuff, but he's the one that removed it from the video because it's up on YouTube.
Something, not that it matters, but I get frustrated at the people on the internet saying like, oh, you have so many bodies. In the 5 years that I was on OnlyFools, I literally slept with 3 people. And 2 of those were my partners. Like I was in relationship with them for over a year. So because 2 of them did only, so it was like a part of our relationship that we just did only together and sold it.
You racked up a lower body count than probably the average American undergraduate in that period of time.
Remember, these are her exact words.
Literally slept with 3 people. And 2 of those were my partners. Like I was in relationship with them.
I was in relationships with them. 3 people, 2 of them were partners.
Okay, so like if they have a partner,
Yes.
like and I'm single, like, and we have sex.
Wait, so she said she's cheated on her boyfriends. She said that she's been single and she's slept with dudes that are in relationships, but yet now she's going to claim she only has 3 bodies in 5 years. 3 bodies in 5 years, and 2 of the 3 were relationships. Do you see how things don't line up? Things don't line up. So, because if she's cheating on boyfriends with other men, if she's single and sleeping with other men that have girlfriends and she finds that hot and exciting, do you see where there's a problem with her math? And this is something that's kind of key when people get to lying and telling tall tales, okay? This is important. The story may be the same, which is first I did A, and I did it 7 times, and then I did B, and I did that 3 times. They might remember the story of A and B, but usually they forget the numbers 7 and 3. So in other words, somebody would say like, oh, I worked in such and such an industry for like 10 years. Now, if another time they say, oh, I worked in an industry for like 9 years, and another time they say 11 years, like that's kind of forgivable because maybe they think about it, they say, it wasn't actually 10 years. It was actually probably closer to 9. But when someone's telling you a story, the numbers get all screwed up. And, well, you can tell that by listening to politicians a lot of times. Just remember that because you're going to see that coming up. But already she's busted on her body count issue. And this is from an interview 2 days ago.
Just the way he treated people was very weird, and I didn't understand it because I treat people very well. I think I really do because I have a
even at
kindness
that
in my
time,
heart.
did you?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I don't treat anyone with disrespect.
I'll do what.
Okay, so this is from the interview with Michael. And she says, she was talking about a previous relationship and how he was weird and he was disrespectful. And she says directly, I treat everybody well. Like I don't disrespect people.
Because I treat people very well. I think I really do because I have a
even
kindness
at that
in my
time,
heart.
did you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Even at that time when she was doing the OnlyFools content, even then she says, yes, absolutely. I treat everybody respectfully.
I don't treat anyone with disrespect.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect, and I don't respect a lot of people.
Literally, that's from her other clip. She says, I don't take advice from everybody because I don't respect them, and there's really nobody I respect. Now, I don't know if I played this twice.
Really do because I have a
even at
kindness
that
in my
time,
heart.
did you?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I don't treat anyone with disrespect.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect, and I don't respect a lot of people.
So she doesn't treat anybody with disrespect, but then she doesn't treat anybody well because she doesn't respect them, and she doesn't listen to them because she doesn't respect them. You can't. I respect everybody, and also I don't really trust anybody, and I don't listen to anybody because I don't respect it. Like you can't have both. Now this is a small one, granted. It's a small one, granted, but these are the type of things that people forget they say because it's not like a story. It's not like here's my story. It's a conversation, and when you're just quickly throwing things out, it's very easy to not tell the truth.
I'm daddy. I girls with strap-ons.
Okay, so now she's saying, I have a good time with the ladies, but apparently that doesn't count towards her body count. That doesn't count towards being with people. Because remember, it was only three people in 5 years, and they were all relationships. Huh?
I'm daddy. I girls with strap-ons. This is what makes me more dominant. I would guy, but they're too scared.
Do you date men or women?
Oh, I'm so attracted to men. Like I need like when I'm drunk, like women. When I get drunk, it's like titties. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect, and I don't respect a lot of people.
Have you been diagnosed with?
No, and
like
I really
BPD
don't think
or-
I should go to the doctor to be like
Yeah, you're probably
told
fine. And when you say you're dominant, do you mean what are we talking here?
I feel like my masculine energy is higher than most men's masculine energy. Like even in bed, I would literally f you until you were doubting your sexuality. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically gay. So until he became gay or something, I swear to God.
Okay, that last. So obviously, she's hyper aggressive.
I also tried someone.
And it's funny because you guys that are just listening can't see. The other dudes and some of the girls on this show, the other content creators, are laughing and looking at her like she's nuts. Like she's nuts. Because she's kind of sounds like she's nuts. But the reason why I'm including this clip is because the part here at the end where she says, I literally did this dude to the point where he questioned if he was straight or not. Basically, like, I banged him gay. That's kind of what she says. And then there's a clip from the Daily Wire where she's basically, I'll let it speak for itself. You'll hear, though.
Sexuality. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically gay. So him until he became gay or something. I swear to God.
Okay, so she's saying he did what I did. In other words, he was an OnlyFools content creator, and I made him question everything. I basically turned him gay. That's what she says, her own words. Now, what's the truth of it?
That's how I kind of looked at it.
So who's this boyfriend, though? This boyfriend, he had his own only.
Yes.
Men have only.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They don't do half as well, or even a quarter of well as women do, because women don't buy, men buy.
So he had his own thing, and that's got to be just for gay guys.
Yep.
There's no way
it's
it's
just
women
called gay baiting.
Yeah.
And it was a very disturbing thing that I had to witness for sure.
Wow.
So Michael Knowles correctly says, wait, if it's like she says, men will pay for stuff for this kind of content. Women will not. And so Michael Knowles is like, well, okay, then that basically means that he was doing like gay stuff to get the clicks and the money, right? And she's like, yes. Yeah, he purposely, like he does that on his page, but he apparently that wasn't the only thing because he also was dating and sleeping with her and doing videos with her. So in the previous video, she says, I made him question his manhood. I did him so well that he basically went gay. And then here she's saying, no, I knew he was doing that content already. And it's another lie. Remember, this is from 2 days ago. So she's lying. She's constantly lying.
Wow. So you're dating this guy who is doing gay or gay adjacent stuff and he's your boyfriend, and he's your secret boyfriend because he's also your scene partner.
Yes.
And did you have this sense? Do you have the sense of like, this guy ain't Prince Charming. This guy ain't the man of my
absolutely.
dreams.
I knew I was not going to
Okay.
marry that man. I just thought it was like more of a work relationship. It was like, cool, we both do the same thing. That's great. Like, I didn't care.
She knew what he did. She knew the content that he made, the type of content that he made. She was like, don't care. This is a work relationship. She's admitting that she lied. See, she's lying still after she supposedly found the Lord and changed and all this stuff. And conservatives in many ways are like blue-pilled men. And this is what I mean by that. They're so excited to believe they've won. They're so excited to believe they've been proven right. They're so excited to say, we claimed another one, that they will cheer on somebody, and mostly who they're cheering on is they're patting themselves on the back. They're like, we did it, boys. We saved somebody. We conservatives or we religious guys, we showed her the light, and we've changed her. And they're very excited to do that. And it's really not about her at that point in time. It's about them. They feel validated and they feel righteous, and it validates how they feel about themselves, and it validates their view of the world, and it makes them feel good. And you can tell because, again, as Michael Knowles put here, in an incredibly moving and powerful episode, a life-changing encounter with faith. But her life hasn't changed. She says it's changed, but I've got proof that it hasn't. But we'll get into that in a moment.
Actually, wait. We have some news articles about that we can look at really quickly.
About that.
Yeah. So you used to be, maybe you can tell us briefly about that history.
So I was a pastor's daughter starting as a preteen. My dad was a pastor for like 5 years, very Baptist pastor. And then we went into like non-denomination.
Interestingly enough, I don't.
Okay. And this one, I know it's kind of staticky there and it breaks up a little bit, but she basically says, my father, now remember, this interview here from the Whatever podcast is from November 30th of 2023, right here, November 30th, 2023, okay? November 30th, that's important to remember. That's like 4 months ago.
And then we went into like non-denomination.
Interestingly enough, I don't know.
Oh wait, let me pull that back just a little bit because I want you to hear it again out of her own mouth.
Years, very Baptist.
5 years.
Was a pastor for a preteen. My dad was a pastor for like 5 years.
5 years.
Very Baptist pastor, and then we went into like non-denomination.
Interestingly enough, I don't know how this even came a part of my dad's life, but he began preaching. But he had been a pastor and evangelist for, I'd say, like 10 years. So after all that happened.
So he became a evangelist pastor after they got remarried. Or so not before?
No, not before.
Zeal of a convert.
So from 3 months ago, she says, oh, he was a pastor for like 5 years. And then now she says, well, he was a pastor for like 10 years. How do you, wouldn't that, if you were just guessing, don't you guess the same number every time? Or maybe it's something that's not true, or it was true, but you're exaggerating it, or you're changing things around. I worked for an IT company, and if you ask me how long did you work for them, I'd say, I don't know, I guess like 4 or 5 years. And if you went and looked at the records, it'd be pretty close to 4 or 5 years. I wouldn't ever say 10 unless it was 8 years. But then you'd say 10, like some part of this has to stick and be steady. Now these are just the most recent interviews. And for those of you on YouTube, right now what you're seeing is a big blur. Maybe you might see a little yellow on there. This is her it's because this is Nala Fitness is very easy to find on the interwebs. And she said, I've only done this content with like 3 dudes, 2 of which I was dating. And she said a lot of the times you don't even know because their face isn't on video. Do you know what is on all these videos? The man's banana. And do you know what doesn't look the same from dude to dude? His banana. If you're a guy, you know this. There's very few bananas that look like your banana. And the problem that she has is that while she's claiming she's only been with 3 dudes, 2 of which were a relationship, the problem is there's more than 3 bananas in her videos. I'll just leave it at that. So she's once again lying. There's the New York Post wrote an article. I'm an OnlyFools model who doesn't date, but I have 7,000 online boyfriends. And in this article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but she goes through and basically says, like, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't date. You know, I don't have really an online relationship, or I did have one right here. She said she dated another OnlyFans. Damn, I hate that word. Now I'm going to have to remember where I said it, right about 30-minute mark. She said she has dated other OnlyFools models in the past, but admits that just creates even more jealousy. I've dated men who do OnlyFools too, but they get jealous that I'm better at it and make 10 times more money than they do, she shared. But they're not. They know that you make more money because they're not making it for the ladies. They're making it for the dudes. And this is from December 26th. And again, I'm doing this video because I do not like people using religion and people's faith. I don't like them using that as a tool to manipulate them, and that's what I feel like she's doing. She posted this from Tennessee, and it shows her getting baptized. And this is, now I think it has music, so I have to keep it muted. But it shows her taking the plunge December 26th. So, you know, we're a week away from the new year here, right? We're a week away, and she gets it, and she's, you know, very, very touched, and she says, I choose God. But from March 17th, now, let me say this too. She says she's disabled her OnlyFools content. But down here on the bottom, it says comments on this post have been limited. It's because she says at the same time, oh, I deleted my content. But from March 17th, which is, wait for it, the last week of December, all of January, all of February, almost all of March, 3 months after she supposedly said, I choose God and I'm going to remove my content, she just finally disabled her OnlyFools content and upgraded it to a paywall account. She changed her monthly fee from $9 to $10 a month, all within the last 24 hours, after acquiring thousands of new white male beta simps as subscribers since her baptism and repentance announcement. And he has screen grabs here. And this was, it says 44 minutes ago. And this is, again, on March 17th, 3 months after she said she was turning this off. And she changed the sub price from 9 to 10. And she puts right here, this is it says yesterday on here, which would have been the 16th. She said, I just wanted to say I'm not going anywhere, but I am changing my page to be more me and who I am right now. So we're under construction for a little bit. And this is again her page. And right here it says F it, making it free this week only. Limited time offer, free trial. And she changed the description on her page. She said part-time nerd, full-time daddy's schloot. I speak Japanese and my interests include cosplay as any girl you want, snowboarding, and canal without the C. You can figure that one out. Canal without the C. Legal note, sharing any of my content without permission will be considered a violation of my privacy and will be subject to legal action. If you want to ask for permission to use content or business inquiries, email. I went and checked this because I was going to do a story about this because I think she's a grifter and she's grifting on the kindness and compassion that the religious right has for somebody that wants to repent. And I went and checked on March 17th. And I posted, it's still active as of 5 minutes ago. Y'all got suckered, and all you did is promote her, and now she's doing tours. And now, granted, maybe now she's finally turned off her page, which I think she has. But she left it up. And while she says she wasn't doing new content, she was recycling old content, she's still making the money off of her and this stuff. Suckers born every minute. And fast forward to here, and this is from 2 days ago. I've got to mute this because it has cheesy music. It is her, and guess what, guys? Her husband, and now she says, God gave me everything when he gave me you. And she just got married to this dude. They're married now. Now she's still in tight-skinned yoga pants with fluorescent red hair, and she sticks her foot up like they do in the Disney movies. There's a sucker born every minute, P.T. Barnum said. And this guy, Jordan Giordano, that's this guy. And he's apparently a religious guy, and he found religion, 14 minutes ago. And she says, they met up in the middle of the country, and they dated for several months, and this guy never even tried to make a move on her. I'd really like to believe that she has changed. She's changed her ways. And the funny thing about this is she has the redemption arc she needs. Because her creator, her Lord and Savior, he can really look inside her heart. And he can really know if she's real or not. And if she's being real, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what the world thinks. Because I'm just some goofball on the internet. So what I think doesn't matter. But just because the Lord above forgives doesn't mean we men need to. Doesn't mean we need to. We got to look at. We got to look at what comes out of this. I'm actually going to be keeping an eye on this. I want to see this redemption arc. I hope she's legit. But I have a feeling that Mr. Jordan Giordano here, he just got suckered. We'll see. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. But when somebody does an interview from just 2 days ago and her answers differ from, what she said months ago, because she literally said, and here's the thing I was talking about. Body count 30, used up whole, to body count 30 plus dress plus Bible, used up whole with a Bible. That's the joke. That's the meme. And somebody down here called it. Yep. She may fool all of us, but she's not fooling the man that counts. And lastly, I will leave it at this. And again, if you guys are on Locals and you saw the video I did, which was like a 45-minute video, I did that for supporters over on Locals. I did not upload that to Rumble, nor did I upload it to YouTube. Because I do not have a personal war. I don't have some vendetta against Fresh and Fit. They invited me on their show. I went on their show. I met the guys. I like the guys. I think they had an interesting format. But there is a problem when you're telling people to do one thing and you do something completely different. If I've said to men many times, I've said to guys, look, if you're going to I've never said don't date. I've never told a man don't date. Smart men don't get married. I've said that. But I don't tell men not to date. I said if you're going to date, understand the rules of the game, understand what you're getting yourself into. I say smart men don't get married the way the laws are right now. But if you say, well, dude, I found a great woman and I'm going to get married and there's not much, screw you. My answer is, well, good luck to you. You know the climate. So if you get boned, that's on you. And so if it turns out that I say, I have a girlfriend, and I've been dating her for 3 years, and she has a body count of 1, and she's young, and she's pretty, and she's conservative, and all these things, and you turn around and say, you're double standards. You said don't date. I said, nope. I say don't get yourself overhead, and don't get in where the law can mess with you, where the law can come in and tell you what's going on, where you can get in trouble, right? And if you do, then you have to say, I didn't even listen to my own advice and I screwed up. And then people can call you a hypocrite, right? I still live by what I preach, even if I am dating somebody, because I'm in no way can be held accountable for anything under the law. If she screws up or I screw up and I want her out or she wants to leave, no law can get involved. My money can't get involved. The situation can't get involved. That's smart, right? That's living up to what you tell other people. Well, Walter Weeks from Fresh and Fit, he tells men, he says all the time, we're high value guys. We don't need to pay women. Women pay us. We don't chase women. Women chase us. When you play the game, when you are a high value man, women come for you. And then you can go out and sleep around and have your fun and do whatever you want. And then when it comes to being strong, stoic, being good men, these same men say, hey, you know what? Don't sleep with 304s. Don't get them pregnant. Don't get yourself in trouble. Like, protect yourself at all times, right? But there's a problem to that. And Walter Weeks has gone out and apparently gotten a girl pregnant. I don't know if you all you guys on YouTube know of this story. Many of you don't even care about Fresh and Fit, and that's fine. That's fine. But I do want to make a point of this to talk about it, because Fresh and Fit, I consider to be kind of the same kind of content creators that I am. But then when you're telling men to live and do one thing, and then you're doing the absolute opposite of it, and you're making all the stupid mistakes you tell men not to make, then we got to talk about that, I think. Because for men to be accountable, I make fun of women not being held accountable all the time. We always talk about women are never held accountable. That's how they get away with everything. Well, if you're a man and you do something stupid, you need to be held accountable. And that's how you learn and how you grow out of it. This is on, ironically, Know Your Meme. And I read down through this, and this is an actual very good collection of the information of what's going on with Miss CJ Daisy and Mr. Walter Weeks. They go on to say, the CJ Daisy and Walter Weeks pregnancy controversy refers to a controversy surrounding a series of leaked messages and phone conversations between CJ Daisy, a.k.a. Daisy Fit Chen, and Manosphere podcast host Walter Weeks, a.k.a. Fresh of Fresh and Fit. See, this kind of tomfoolery and BS reflects on the Manosphere, reflects on Red Pill, reflects on all this stuff. So now when the Daily Wires and the Ben Shapiros and the Jordan B. Petersons want to point out that, oh, look at these guys in this area of men's issues, they're a bunch of hypocrites. All of them are full of crap. Well, when something like this happens, it puts doubt and it sheds a negative light on all of us in this. That's why I want to talk about this stuff. Daisy says Weeks got her pregnant, and he insists she delete the kid, to just get a deletion. Daisy leaked the communications between the two in which she refers to get the baby deletion, and where she refuses, to get the baby deletion, and attempts to get Weeks to support her and the baby, now on a deleted Instagram page in early April 2024. The leaks inspired discourse and criticism toward Weeks online, who has previously criticized women for never taking accountability and spoken on the importance of strong fathers. Weeks and his Fresh and Fit co-host responded to the allegation days later, suggesting Daisy could be faking the pregnancy. Now, let's pause here. If she's faking it, fine. That's bad on her part. and Walter has nothing to worry about. But there's still a problem. Walter, instead of stepping up and saying, let's get a paternity test and prove that I'm the father, and if I am the father, I want to be a good, strong father. Instead of doing that and taking accountability for it, the first thing he screams is, get rid of it. Pop a pill, get rid of it. That's the first thing he freaks out about. Not even, is it mine? Are you sure? None of that. And that's where I have the issue with the whole thing. This may very well turn out to be a fake. Like maybe she's completely lying and it's a fake. But when your first response, because I know what my response would be. Number one, if a woman said this to me, I'd be like, la, 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 I have a vasectomy. Number two, I know who the woman would be because it's someone I'd be dating long term. Because I don't do the mess around stuff anymore since I was a young buck. I learned that didn't make me happy in the grand scheme of things. So my first response would be, got snipped, not me. But my second would be, okay, if it's real, if this is the real deal, if you're really swearing it's mine, and I knew I had been with her, right? Because obviously, that's got to happen, or else you tell her to stuff it where the sun doesn't shine. But if I had been, and if I had been raw dogging it, and I had not pulled out, and I had not gotten a snip, and I knew she wasn't taking anything, and we'd been doing it for months, and then she turned around and got pregnant. My first thing would not be, we'll just take a pill and, we'll wish it off into the weeds and it's over with. My first thing would be, okay, let's get a paternity test. That's number one. Number two, if it's mine, okay, now it's dad time. That would be mine. It's dad time. Because I don't want to make a single mom, number one. Now, I wouldn't put myself in this situation in the first place, but I wouldn't want to make a single mom. So it would be dad time. It'd be step up. And if she didn't want anything to do with it, or, it was going to be problematic, I'd fight for full custody of that kid, and I would raise that half baby Chen, half Joker kid the best I could. But that's not where he went. He suggested she's faking it, and it's probably not mine, and you just get rid of it. That's not taking accountability. They say background on April 3rd, CJ Daisy, a.k.a. Daisy Fit Chen on Instagram, who is Miss Asia 2023, leaked a series of DMs between herself and Walter Weeks, a.k.a. Fresh from Fresh and Fit, exposing him for trying to get her to delete the kid against her wishes after revealing to him that she was pregnant. The messages reveal that the two were in a relationship and Weeks was having unprotected fun time with her and with multiple other women without her knowledge, with Weeks writing that he wants to get them all tested. Daisy shows a blood test as proof of her pregnancy. Weeks insisted that he doesn't want to be a father and tells her to take a pill which will get rid of it, which she refuses, writing that she doesn't want to get rid of it. He also claims he's too broke financially to support a child. These are all confirmed in texts that she shared. Could they be faked? Yes. But so far, Walter, a.k.a. Fresh, has not admitted they're fake. The closest he's come is in a live stream with his, I guess, lawyer has said no comment. That's the closest he said to it. So I'm not saying that they are real, but the closest he's come to saying is no comment. Daisy also shared in a statement written by her notes app detailing their relationship. She writes that they met in November 2023 in Miami, and on New Year's Day, he asked her to be in a committed relationship, asking her not to be with other men. He then invited her to meet his mom, which she did, and there is video of that. Daisy Chen bought his mom a pair of shoes. They were blue/purple, and Walter's the one holding the camera, filming it, saying, "Mommy, do you like?" And he literally said, "Mommy," not mother, not mom. He said, "Mommy, do you like them? Mommy, isn't that a great gift? Mommy, do you like them?" And the text on the video that was from his phone said, "When your girlfriend buys her boyfriend's mom a present," or something like that. It's legit. I mean, I've seen the video. They might even have it on this page. So he's calling her the girlfriend. She says he wanted to be in a committed relationship. She left He invited her to meet his mom, which she did on January 8th, 2024. She left from Miami for a home in China to celebrate the Chinese New Year. The night before she left, she and Weeks had a conversation where he claimed he saw her as someone he could spend his life with. She planned to move in with him in Miami and traveled to Barbados to meet his family. Again, these are verified with texts that she has shared. I don't see her as the type of person that is faking a bunch of texts because I don't see her as maybe being that creative. But maybe she did. We don't know. She writes that she had unprotected fun time with Weeks because she thought they were in a serious relationship and that she previously told him that if she did become in the motherly way, she would be keeping the kid. On March 12th, she traveled to Miami with him. She admits they understood he is not a monogamous person, so she wanted to help him. She wanted him to help her find her own apartment. Instead, he insisted on waiting to buy a house. She writes that he pretended to be a high-value man to date girls and then ditch them. She writes that she found out he was cheating and a player and that she asked him to move out a few days after she arrived in Miami and she couldn't get in contact with him. She went back to China and on March 30th found out she now had his kid. She writes that Weeks didn't want to talk about it in person, told her to take a pill, and warned other women about him. She's since deleted her Instagram page, but the messages were shared on the Our Destiny subreddit that day, garnering over 2,200 upvotes. And she did a video. Now, this is from, like, if you look up Know Your Meme, which is the web. You know what? I'll copy this. I'll copy this and post this down below. If you guys want to look at all the screenshots and all the proof. Or not proof. I mean, that's up to you to decide. Leaked phone call on April 4th. A phone call between Weeks and Daisy started spreading online. She shared their conversation. And again, a lot of people are like, well, why is she's using very specific language? It sounds like she's trying to trap him a little bit. I think she is at this point. I think she's really peeved. I think she feels or is trying to show that she's really peeved and she feels that she's been slighted. I think that's what she's trying to show. Fresh and Fit's response on April 5th, 2024, Weeks and his co-host, Myron Gaines, a.k.a. Fit, responded to the allegations during an episode of the Fresh and Fit podcast hosted on YouTube and Rumble. During the first half of the episode, they discussed the allegations with their lawyer, James Sexton, who tells them to add the phrase no comment to their vocabulary, claims it is a felony to record a conversation and to post it without consent. If she did so in Florida, that is an actual felony, which may mean the recording is not admissible in any courts, and it also may mean that she's, well, you know, that she did commit a felony. However, the fact that she's Chinese and now back in China, I don't think will hold any weight. Anyway, they go on to say CJ Daisy did it and goes over the common tactics used by women to manipulate men. That's what James Sexton, their lawyer, went over. They suggest the pregnancy claims could be fake, and she is mad that Weeks didn't want to get in an apartment with her, with Gaines claiming he also went through a fake pregnancy scandal in the past. The lawyer also insists that a woman making fake pregnancy allegations against a man is a sign of success for the man. Throughout the episode, Gaines and Weeks refer to Daisy as a 304. Fresh and Fit also say they're not religious, to a response of Daisy claiming her religion is a reason she doesn't want to get rid of the kid. The video gained over 200,000 views in 3 days. And they have a link to it here. Ab and Preach interview with CJ Daisy on April 26. YouTubers Ab and Preach, who have an ongoing battle with Fresh and Fit. Neither one of the groups like each other very much. Posted their second video about the allegations, this time interviewing CJ Daisy herself and to get her full perspective on the situation. Before the interview, they began by playing clips of Weeks denying that Daisy was his girlfriend, contrasted with clips of Weeks telling her he loves her and calling her his girlfriend. During the interview, the YouTubers asked Daisy why she wanted to have a kid or get married so soon after they were in a relationship, and she responds that time doesn't matter to her if she believes the relationship is committed. Preach finds the answer weird, while Ab is more understanding of it. And so this goes on a little bit further, but Destiny talked about it. Other content creators have talked about it. And yes, many things from her perspective seem weird. Could she be a dingbat? Yes. Just because somebody's pretty, I mean, arguably, depending on who's, eye of the beholder kind of stuff. Just because somebody's pretty and well-traveled doesn't mean they're smart. I don't know how old she is, but, if she's had a couple of relationships and she meets a guy she thinks is high value, he's got one of the men's largest podcasts in the world, and he's got pictures on his Instagram of him meeting famous people and posing in front of Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and he's got money and jewelry and all this stuff, and she believes he's a super high-value man. Is it surprising that he's like, I don't want to wear anything, and my pull-out game is 0, so I'm just going to bust nuts? And she's like, okay, but, doing this will get me pregnant. And he's like, it's all good, baby. Don't worry about it. Now, you can call her a gold digger. You can say she's fishing for a rich man's baby so she gets a payout. And my answer to that would be, isn't that what we always talk about? Isn't that what we say is going to happen? Isn't that what we say these women do when they go to, basketball events and they try to get these guys that are millionaires, these basketball players, to throw the Jimmy in the trash can so they can get the baby juice out of it? Or that they convince him, oh, I'm on the pill, don't worry about it. And then he starts busting nuts and all of a sudden she's pregnant. And she's like, oh. Are you telling me that Weeks, Mr. Fresh CEO, is too stupid? He never said, I didn't sleep with her. He never said, we always use protection. There's no way she's pregnant. He's never really pushed back against any of these allegations. He's just saying, well, she's a 304 and she's baby trapping me. My dude, you allowed her to baby trap you. You went along with it. You wanted to be in the playground with the sugar walls. You wanted a piece of that pie and you wanted to raw dog it. What'd you think was going to happen? And my anger and my frustration comes the fact that these guys are telling young men, be high value. Show that you have high value. Make it look like you got money. Make it look like you're a superstar, man, even if you're not. You'll get these beautiful women on Instagram and these women coming over to be with you. Now, maybe he lied to her and said that he wanted a long-term relationship with her. Maybe he didn't. Maybe that's her saying that. And he was like, nope, never said that. I just said, come on over. I think you're hot, and I want to clap them cheeks. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. The fact is, a man that tells men how to date, how to be high value, how to acquire high value women, he got himself baby trapped. And he was on video, because I watched the video. He was on video, and I think I think it might have been one of the videos that Abba and Preach put up. He was on video telling his mom, this is my girlfriend. I saw that video. I heard his voice say it. And it's her and his mother and him holding the phone, showing her give his mother the shoes. And he said, it's a gift from my girlfriend. He's calling her girlfriend. My dude, you trapped yourself. And so how are you going to take advice? How are you going to be a high value man and then turn around and your first reaction to finding out that you raw dogged a chick and you busted and you're baby trapped? How's your first response going to be? Cut and run. Get rid of it. You're a liar. You just trapped me. You're a horrible person. My dude, you allowed all of it to happen. You allowed all of it to happen. You didn't protect yourself. You weren't smart about it. And now you've put up video of you calling her a girlfriend. You don't think she's going to go to the courts and say, look, here's video of him calling me girlfriend and me meeting his mom and him saying that, and he told me we were going to get a place together. And that, if I got to be in the motherly way, that he was going to take care of me. That's why I wasn't worried about it, because he said we were going to be in a long-term relationship. My dude, you just basically, like, you dug your own grave. Not only did you dig your own grave, you then grabbed your own club, you beat yourself in your own back of your head, you fell into the grave yourself, and then you started pulling the dirt over yourself. How's a man going to profess to be an educator of men and a high-value man, and then not only do you baby trap yourself, but the way you take responsibility for it is to tell her to get rid of it, and that you can't afford one in your life right now? And aren't you literally now making another single mother in the world? Aren't you now making another baby mama? Aren't you literally making more of what we rail against, which is single mothers and kids growing up without strong dads? Be a strong dad. Do the right thing. If this is for real, do the right thing. Get custody of the kid or part custody, and teach that kid better lessons than you're teaching other people, because the lessons you're teaching are not very good. Guys, if you enjoy this work, make sure to check, again, become a supporter if you want to see the 45-minute video I did on this stuff the other day about this deal. I got the video clips. I play the audio. I talk about the texts and all the stuff that is here on this page. I'll leave this page down below if you want to check it out yourself. I talk about this stuff in a video for supporters over on Locals. So come on over, become a supporter today. You get to see unique one-off content. And otherwise, I appreciate you coming and hanging out this long, and we will see you in the next one.